what I'd be interested in for swings is something like this. I can't do a leap on this, but this is a place where I'm interested in a swing, right? Because you've got a gap. That's what makes me make so I'm not even thinking, oh, I'm day trading and now I'm going to turn this into a swing. I'm thinking this is a swing, and are there day trades that I can play with it? The other one that I like a lot for the same type of opportunity is this. So I'm constantly looking for this type of activity so that I don't have to make a decision of, oh, okay, now it's good for me to go, swing on this. I'm already thinking this is a good opportunity for swing because of the pullback that it's had. So I don't get into something and then decide, oh, this looks good, and now I'm going to swing it. Does that make sense? I'm already thinking this is probably going to be a decent swing setup. I just need to get into lockstep with this thing to figure out if I'm going to have a shot at doing it or not. When I throw opportunities like this up, this doesn't meet a leap candidate position, but it meets a swing position. And I want to trade this and play with this first. And I want to see if it's going to respect these areas before I start looking at something that's going to be a swing position. Now, if this thing decides and starts to move and show signs of breaking above its 8, I'm more likely to consider it for a swing position, but I need other criteria to be met. I want the 50 and the 200. I want the anchored year-to-date VWAP. I want all of this stuff bending down and coming to this area before I commit to that. Because if I go early and this is resistance, or I go early and this is resistance, or I go early and that's resistance, I'm not going to get what I want out of a swing unless all I'm going for is, let's say, a gap fill. So if I'm in the middle of a trade today and this shows signs of breaking out, I'm more skeptical of it because it's still early. Does that make sense? Those are the types of things that should start to stick out to you. And those are the types of things where you should be able to say, this is where I think this would be a better swing, right? Like you can take a swing on something like this, but the probability is lower. Where's the probability going to be higher? Well, just come back and look at recent history. Now, granted, okay, you maybe you didn't catch the bottom, but look at this thing was in a very similar type of pattern as it was coming in here, correct? And then there's no gap to fill in here, obviously, but you had this, and even if you didn't get the bottom and time it, you had an 8 that crossed over the 21, giving you an early signal saying, hey, this is now probably a good place for a swing. And as it crosses the 50, if you still haven't been in, you still get an opportunity to look at a potential swing. I want something like that to line up before I put my capital on a longer term time frame at risk. Does that make sense? So you shouldn't be asking me, when's it appropriate, or when do I decide in the middle of a trade to move from an intraday trade to a swing? That should be obvious to you after this discussion. If it's not, I'm going to send your ass to the principal's office. But do you see it? Everybody, I'm hoping everybody sees it at this point.